Welcome back to Ethereal Arts Studio, where I'm an artist, you're an artist, we are all artists. Today we're going to be painting based on another extraordinary film, Steven Spielberg's 1982 classic, E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial. So get your Reese's Pieces, get your imagination, and join me in a California forest. Just to remind you, my name is Juan Scribe and I welcome you here. These are the materials that you need. We will be using 3 brushes plus a fan brush. So let's start with some royal blue and use our large brush and trace any circular shape that you have to make the circle for the moon. So let's paint a little bit around that circle now with the same royal blue and large brush. After which we'll add some navy blue or darker blue to the paper plate and paint the remainder of the canvas. And we're going to blend the 2 blues by going over where they meet many times over. Now let's pour some white paint on our plate, and using that large brush without washing it, since it still has some of that blue on it, we'll wipe it off with a paper towel, and there will still be a little bit remaining on it, very little. We'll mix whatever that is with the white to make a very light blue, which we'll use to fill in that moon and give it a hue of light blue all over. Let's make that moon pop up more, and one of the ways we can start doing that is by darkening these corners of the canvas. We can add some more navy blue with the large brush, and when we add those brush strokes, we'll keep it at a curve. We'll keep the brush strokes curved so that it'll follow the circle of the moon. And we'll go almost all the way to the moon, but leave about a centimeter or an inch between the dark blue and the moon. Now let's make another light blue, which is pretty light, but not as light as one we had made previously. And let's add some of those shadows to the moon, some of the craters, some of the formations and different shades of blue on that moon. And the way we do it is we just basically dab it on for now. Let's just dab on, let's just poke the moon with some of this light blue. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a paper towel or napkin and wipe off the paint from the brush. We will use the brush that has been wiped to blur these formations that we made on the moon. We're going to blur them. We're going to try to make them a little bit more natural, not as defined, look like they're more far away, look like the actual craters and formations on the moon. And now what I'm doing is adding more royal blue, the lighter blue, to the immediate outside of the moon. We can also take that medium brush with royal blue and better define the moon. Get rid of any little parts that are not straight. If you press firmly like this, you can make a crisp line so that our moon will be better defined. So after I added more dark blue to those corners, as you saw a second ago with the big brush, now I'm adding black to the bottom of the canvas to make that horizon. And at first, it doesn't have to have trees or anything. It could just be a line through the canvas and through some of the moon as well. and then you just paint it in. So now let's go back to the medium brush once again. Let's make sure that it's washed and dried, and we're gonna dab on some trees, some tops of trees onto that horizon. Now I'm gonna use a fan brush, and I'm gonna use it in different angles, as you'll see, to make the details in these evergreen trees. But if you don't have a fan brush, try to use something that is very small at the tip, and it will still be great. Now the film itself was excellent. I mean, I don't know, what do you guys think? To me, it really touched me as a child. It was a piece of my childhood. I remember it was a huge movie when I was in kindergarten, and it was hailed for its performances by especially the children in the movie. Henry Thomas, Drew Barrymore, and the grown-ups too. Dee Wallace, Peter Coyote, they all did fantastic. Steven Spielberg did excellent. It's one of his best, I think. So it's a real privilege to be able to paint, to that film and to create art to it. So thank you guys for sharing this. And I would love to see your artwork. I would love to see how your pieces came out. So please feel free to share any links or email links in the comments, anything related to today's piece. Now we're going to paint Elliot and E.T. in the sky. So let's get our small brush, a detail brush if you have one, or whatever small brush you have, and we're going to start with Elliot's head. After we make his head, we're going to start with the trunk of his body, but we're not adding too much bulk yet. We're going to make almost like a stick figure at first. Here is one of his legs. We made the top of it to the knee, and then his shin and to the bottom, but no feet yet. This is the other leg. He's in a position where he's riding a bicycle, so that's why his legs look like that. Now I made his torso a little bit thicker, and I'm gonna add an arm and another arm. And as you can see, once again, it's like a stick figure at first. Then once we establish this, we can add more muscle, more meat. But first, actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the cape, which it's gonna look like Superman's cape for now. And then we'll fill it in with the same brush, small and black paint. And here, once again, I'm just adding more mass to Elliot. I'm also adding his feet, and he's pretty much flying in the air by himself right now. So I'm gonna start with the bicycle soon, and after the bicycle we'll get to E.T. So there is one tire, the back tire. In the center of the tire, and out of the center comes a piece of the bicycle, and here we're making what is almost like a diamond shape that is going to connect the tires. Now on to E.T. So Elliot, we painted him black, but E.T. is actually a mixture of black and a navy blue to get a very dark blue. We used a small brush once again, and it's not going to have too much detail. Elliot had a lot more detail because E.T. is wrapped up in a blanket. So you're going to see how I make the outline and then we fill it in. So you can see that there is a little bit of a separation, the head and the rest of the body. There is a little bit of a distinction, I should say. And it keeps the shape, that ET head shape, intact. One more detail for ET, I took a little bit of white, just a tiny bit with that tiny brush, and then I wiped it off, the white. Then I applied it to add just a little bit of moonlight hitting his shoulder. Here I am adding my signature. You could add your signature, your initials, or any other text to your painting. You did an excellent job, and I'm so proud to be able to paint with you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, you have absolute power.
Absolute